forming the perfect e-learning development team. There are a number of key players, key personnel that need to be pulled together if you're going to develop the most highly effective e-learning for your organization. So the first thing that we would consider putting together when it comes to developing online learning is a focus group. So if we're coming into your organization, we want to be speaking to people who have been in their job role, preferably for at least 12 months, so that they know really, they have a really good idea of what their job looks like, what's involved, what skills and everyday activities they need to be doing, because we want to be engaging and consulting with those people to make sure that we have their direct frontline experiential knowledge and advice and guidance as to what the training needs to look like in order for it to truly train people up to have the right capacity to do that job. The focus group will also form people who will test the training once it's been built, who will go through the e-learning experience and provide real feedback from people who actually do the job to tell us whether or not it's effective, if it needs to be redeveloped, and if it's really going to be the best format possible. So that focus group is really important and would be the starting, the middle, and the end point of the whole e-learning development process. From there, we would have e-learning experts. Subject matter experts, my apologies. So your subject matter experts are people who quite literally are experienced, qualified professionals in the particular subject area or topic that's being taught. So we may need to consult with these people in terms of the actual curriculum development and in terms of the content of the program. Now, these subject matter experts may also be members of the focus group, and they may even be part of the curriculum development team later on as well. These are the people that may already be your trainers. They may already be delivering this knowledge and giving this knowledge out inside your organization. They could also be external consultants that you engage in terms of certain parts of your training. So these are people who are the unrequited experts, absolutely know what they're talking about, in particular the topic that's being taught, so that you know that the content that you're delivering is absolutely up to date, completely correct, and the best content possible for the learners and the development. Then we have perhaps a workforce development strategist. Now, this person would work in conduit with the e-learning strategist or the e-learning consultant and the training development team and the higher end of the organization. This is the person who needs to understand what the strategic objectives of the company actually are. This person should be educationally qualified and understand career progression mapping and pathways. They should understand the training frameworks in the accredited space, as well as within your particular organization space as well, so that they can look at your overall company direction, where it is you want to go, and then help build online learning that is truly helping the organization move towards attaining those strategic objectives, whilst at the same time taking people through the most logical and practical training and development experience that you can possibly put together, that hopefully would also align to qualifications and accredited training as well. Then you would have an e-learning consultant. Now, this person is an expert in the experience, the design, and the delivery specifically of e-learning. This is where the person truly can consult with your organization and your face-to-face trainers, look at your existing training content face-to-face, and be the person who guides that breaking up and repurposing process to make sure that as you are transitioning and redesigning your face-to-face training into an e-learning format, it's producing the most engaging and transformational learning experience that can possibly be put into an e-learning format. Then you need curriculum developers. So these are the people who are actually developing the content, who are putting together the knowledge that people are going to suck in. This may be content that already exists. It could be going out there and doing further research and finding new content in order to bridge any training gaps, workforce gaps, or gaps from where you're at now to where the company is going. These people should be curriculum developer qualified, and they should have significant experience in the education space, preferably even be training qualified as trainers assessors as well. These are the people that understand how to turn written information and display it in a manner whereby it can be easily accessed by your learners, as well as your trainers, who are then going to use that content to explain further and add deeper learning. Next, we have training administrators. Now, these could have a number of different functions. It could be that they could work to simply reformat and edit your existing documentation. Now, maybe you have PowerPoints that need updating in terms of the presentation of them, the branding of them. Do they all have logos on them? Do they all follow the same color palette and color schemes? Do they all have the right font and font sizes? Are they all following the same rules in terms of bullet point and spacing? This can be a very time-consuming process, which is why I would say I wouldn't give this task necessarily to curriculum developers. They are a lot more expensive, so you want to give this time-consuming task to an administration role. It doesn't necessarily require curriculum design knowledge or expertise. So this is where you're making sure that the formatting and consistency in the brand is standardized across the board. All of your handouts look the same. All of the handouts are available. The training administrator could also act as the collector of content from all of your subject matter experts. They could act as the person who collects data, information and communication from your focus group. They also can be the person, once the whole training set up and your online school is set up, can be the person who acts as the administrator in terms of enrolling people into the courses, in terms of responding to support requests or queries, sending people passwords if that needs to be done. They can be in charge of letting subject matter experts know if stuff's out of date, letting the learning management system managers know if any pieces of content aren't working, for instance. They can sort of be that admin person across the board throughout the entire development process. The next you're going to need is LMS developers. This is your learning management system developers. So these are the people who will set up the learning management platform itself, do the branding, set up the integrations, make sure the features and functionality are all working and have the capacity to connect it to different servers or your website or however it might be. These are the technical people who might need to do a little bit of coding and who basically make sure that that learning management system, that platform, is fully branded, highly secure, and is open and live and connected to everything that it needs to be connected to. Next, you need a professional film crew. So these are people obviously going to come into your organization with all the gear that you need. So they can come in, they've got everything there. They can then develop and edit all of that footage for you and send it through. So this is making sure that you have the right experts doing the job for you to make sure that those final results are high quality. Then you need your trainers and your presenters or your voiceover artists. So these could be the trainers that you already have in place. You can hire trainers to come and present your training on your behalf, or you can even use voiceover artists if you have scripts that need to be followed as well. So these are obviously quite a significant array of skills. This is a lot of professionals that you need to bring together. Now, of course, if you were to employ all of these people, this could get very expensive indeed. So one of the most efficient ways to do this is to quite literally bring in the experts, is to completely outsource this whole entire e-learning process, full stop. Now at Main Training, this is what we do every single day. Our whole team consists of all of these experts and all of these qualified professionals. So we can come into your organization and either just provide some consulting and advice if you do have some of these professionals in place already, and provide you with the systems, the strategies, the processes, and guidance as to what you should do in your particular situation. Alternatively, we could work with your business as a one-off situation, or on an ongoing, long-standing basis, working as your partners, and make sure that this is constantly being produced for you. We come in, we do some consultations, we get the focus groups together, we create the curriculum development plans, we take your existing face-to-face training content and we repurpose it all, we redesign it all, we work with your trainers and your subject matter experts to get all of that filmed. We build the learning management platform for you. We develop that whole thing, we get it all set up, branded with your web URLs, we connect it to your website, so we upload all of that content for you and manage that on an ongoing basis. As new face-to-face training is developed, upgraded or changed, you can quite simply keep sending that through to us to redevelop, rechange and get onto your system. This is a way of completely outsourcing your e-learning training department to those who have been in the business for a long time, know what they're doing, have all of the equipment and personnel in place, so that you are bringing down your overheads whilst maximizing maximizing the productivity and the efficiency of this development space. So do please feel free to contact me if you'd like to find out, have a consultation about how we could work with you on doing this. Simply contact me either on sarahcordiner.com or on maintraining.com.au. Be more than happy to have a chat with you and your team to find out how we could help you do this as well.